Hello, my Bill 5000 Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. We are back with another That chapter. This one is titled The Grim Case of Joey Banis. This was actually suggested to me by a subscriber, so I'm excited. It's been a minute since I had a suggestion for that chapter. All right. If you guys are excited as I am, please go ahead. Turn them lights down low. Put on something comfy, cup of something special. Oh, let's get concerned. Very concerned.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this old video we're going all the way over to Kentucky, Louisville. So you know, Louisville, Louisville, I don't know. This story, it's all about the three J's. That's Joe, don't you know? Jeff, his BFF, and Jamie, who got nothing good. So this one takes us to a haunted house in Louisville, and we'll get into the spooky and mysterious.
I lived in Louisville for a little bit. Very, very short period of time. I liked Louisville. It was just a little too much sometimes. I'm from Iron. I'm not from big city. I'm from little city. I'm little city peoples. I liked it. I liked 4th Street Live. That was the shit. I liked living in Churchill Downs. I liked being really close to the Derby. That was amazing. I just couldn't stay there long. I'm one of those people, I get in trouble when I leave the house. There's a lot of things to get in trouble with in Louisville.
It's history.
But there's a lot of nice places, and a lot of haunted places too. Went to a lot of them whenever I was living there.
Of the house. It's a bit, well, it's a bit cliche, not gonna lie. But if it wasn't haunted before, it's gotta be now. You know the stories I like to tell, the ones that begin with a B, end in a T, and we can thank bats for them? This one definitely qualifies. So let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go.
So we're gonna go just bananas, absolutely wild here, and not begin at the beginning. We're gonna begin where everybody else began. And it began with a 911 call. Coming from the old section of Louisville, a house at 1435 South 4th Street. That 911 call was made in June of 2010.
Uh-oh.
The caller was a fella named Jeffrey Mundt, and he was terrified of his boyfriend. Jeffrey had been chased around the house that he owned before locking himself in a room, but it didn't look like it was going to stay that way. The police arrived before any damage could be done, and at the house they arrested Jeffrey's live-in boyfriend, Joey Banis. The couple were both 38 years old. This wouldn't be Joey's first arrest, by the way. He had served 5 years previously on a...
Oh, they was dating? I thought they was cousins, man. They look alike. My bad, yo. Shit.
Number of drugs charges, namely devil's dandruff and meth. Joey Banis was the son of a successful plastic surgeon in Louisville from an upper middle class family. He managed and partly owned a few gay bars in Louisville, and as I said, he got involved with drugs, which led to slammer time. Jeffrey was a little different. He worked in IT and had been working for Northwestern University in their IT department for a few years. Jeffrey and Joey had been dating for less than a year when all this occurred, after meeting on a dating site.
Can't meet in a bar like normal people.
So at first it kind of seemed like just a relatively straightforward case of domestic abuse, domestic assault. They had argued, fought, and then Jeffrey, called for help. But that swift...
I mean, everyone. Sorry, Mike, that's an awful face to pause you on. Everyone argues, everyone fights. It happens. You're grown ass people putting your lives together. No one views things exactly the same way. Everyone fights, everyone argues. There's a point though to where it's like it's no longer a fight or argument. It's a battle for who's right and who's wrong, and that's not healthy. That shit is not healthy at all. But arguing, it's fine. You got to. You gotta argue. If not, it's boring.
Changed when the police brought the cuffs on Joey, brought him down to the station. He decided to tell the police something.
Bum bum bum.
That somewhere in that old spooky house was a body. Ears perked up, and the officers handed him over to the detectives.
Yeah.
Was this like, sure, he's just shy talking, trying to get out of beating his fellow up? Or...
Earlier tonight, you told the uniformed officers about a homicide.
Yes, okay. I know, a rainy night. Jeffrey wanted to get some drugs.
Joey told the detectives that about 7 months earlier, himself and Jeffrey had been in the house when they invited over a drug dealer they knew. They wanted to get the party started.
You won't get fucked
Pulled
up.
out his little bag full of stuff and drugs.
Won't get fucked up because it's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got shit to do.
And money. We started to get high. I was watching porn. And before I knew it, it was...
Man, be like the rest of people. Save your porn watching for the toilet, bro. What's wrong with you? You don't... I mean... Hey, baby, come look at this. Okay, yeah. It happens. Never mind.
Blood flying. There's a lot of yelling. Really, this all happened so quickly that I was freaked out. I was up against the wall, hyperventilating. I thought at that point that he was going to kill me.
Shit.
Jeffrey was a greedy Gus, and after the dealer sold him some stuff, he wasn't done yet, and he killed him. The story's already nuts, and we haven't even gotten to the counterfeit money or hostage situation video yet. Did I say that out loud?
He wrapped him into a
Counterfeit money and hostage.
And dragged him downstairs to the basement.
I like where this story's going.
He said that I would get my ass down there and help him, or else I'd be going into that hole.
No, that's just rude.
There was a body buried underneath the house, and Joey swiftly drew the police a map. The police decided to do some treasure hunting.
I like scavenger hunts myself.
The house at 1435 South 4th Street has a storied history. It's still there. Spooky, you might say. It was built in 1897, lived in by the Robinson family. After they sold it, it became a sanatorium in the 1920s.
That's primitive
one
as can
doctor
be.
was he was like one of those, those creepy doctors who experiments on patients with many dying. In fact, the house is like, you remember the first season of American Horror Story?
Mm-hmm.
Creepy house. It's that. The sanatorium eventually closed, and there it went through a few different owners. The neighborhood went downhill, and then it was purchased by a woman in the 60s who ran a boarding house. She ran it until she was beaten to death by a tenant. So the police returned to the house.
God.
Right? They're like, here, may as well have a go in case...
Don't ever buy, rent, or move into this house in any way, shape, or form. It turns you mean. Poor old lady's getting beat to death. It's awful.
Joey Banis, who's back at the station, is telling the truth. They go to
make
Jeffrey.
the best
They wake up.
cookies.
It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Jeffrey, who called the police to begin with, is shocked and appalled that somebody would be buried beneath their house. Jesus, lads, first time I'm hearing about this. But the idea of murder was not, an idea that would be completely unfamiliar when you're talking about Joey Banis.
Uh-oh.
Jeffrey Martin, okay. Are you in a relationship with him? Yes. I used to break up with him. When did he leave?
So, when the police took Jeffrey into the interrogation room, others decided to go down to the basement and see what they could see. It looked like the map was gonna match up, and it did when they started digging.
Oh, that's great.
Buried in the basement, they found a plastic container. Inside was someone. The house was then officially a crime scene.
Oh,
and
shit.
bloodstains and a bullet hole were also discovered. Now, Jeffrey was, he was
Former
continuing
roommate.
his mantra that he had no idea. Body in the basement, this is news to me. While Joey, he was saying Jeffrey's the one who put him there.
Can you tell me if there's somebody buried in my house? There is. Oh my god.
I mean, it's frankly terrifying that there's a body buried underneath your house. That's definitely
I'd probably throw up.
Haunting 101. So someone...
I'm going to go ahead and say, if I got taken into, police custody, and they was sitting there talking to me, and they was like, hey, just to let you know, we found a body in your basement. I'm throwing up. Bro, you know how many times I've been in that basement? Nope. Nope. There could be body juices down there, man. I'm not a big fan of body juices. Not.
Perhaps both of them, they were lying. They had to be. They were both, pointing the finger at each other.
I mean, that's what you do.
The victim was identified as Jaime Carroll. He was a drug dealer. Joey invited him over. And then the three of them just started a meth-fueled bang session, lashing each other out of it. Then Joey went, to have a Gatorade champ. And when he came back, Jeffrey had stabbed the shit out of Jaime and shot him. Well, that's what Joey said.
What the fuck? Oh, shit.
Jaime Carroll was 37 years old, from Kentucky. After high school, he opened up a hair...
They crazy. I'm allowed to say things about Kentuckians. I'm married to one. I put up with the crazy. So, yeah. Oh my God. I remember these hairstyles. I remember my mom walking around for hours with Aquanet and this big pick and then this other thing, and there was a lot of this number going on. And I remember anytime Dad would go to smoke a cigarette, Mom would be like, you take your ass outside. There's too much fumes going on in here. Oh, damn.
Salon. And he decided to follow the bright lights and moved from his small town to Louisville and got involved in drag queen, drag artist, that scene. After, he began experimenting with meth and then selling it. He met Joey on an online site and they began to exchange drugs and, bodily fluids too. The autopsy of Jaime revealed he had been stabbed 6 times and shot once.
Damn.
He hadn't been reported missing. He missed court the day after he was murdered. Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody was actually looking for him because they...
Motherfucker probably still got a warrant out for his arrest even though he dead. Bro, you can't, you missed court one time, you got 6 bench warrants out for your arrest. It's man, I just got the date wrong. Shit, you call in, it's hey, I got the date wrong. I need to come in and do something about this. They'll still leave that damn warrant out for your arrest. Assholes, man.
They all thought he was in prison. So now they had 2 people who lived in that house. Both of them saying the other one did it. But they needed...
And if you're wondering, yes, that has actually happened. I have actually missed a court date. I completely forgot. I thought it was the whole other day. I even wrote it down completely freaking wrong. And then I looked at my papers and I was like, oh no, I was supposed to be there. And then I called and they was like, okay, just come in. We'll put you on the docket for the following Monday. So I went in the following Monday, and on my way there, I got pulled over because I forget why I got pulled over. It was just one of those, do you know how fast you're going, sir? No. I wasn't really paying attention to that, to be honest with you. You was going 2 miles over the speeding limit. I need to see your ID. It's well, fuck you. And by God, he was like, "Oh, you're gonna have to step out the car, sir." I was like, "Why? You got a warrant out for your arrest." "I'm on my way to court now." "Well, I'll make sure you get there." "Okay." Like, I literally had to argue with him to call the clerk of courts to get it all straightened out. And he still drove me to the court, got me out in handcuffs, walked me in and everything. Oh, this is some bullshit.
Find out which. Jeffrey Mundt, who was denying any knowledge of the whole thing, he then failed a polygraph. So he decided to change his story. His story changed from what it was, but it changed to the exact same story Joey was telling, only the positions were reversed. He was saying Joey had stabbed and shot Jamie.
Joey invited this guy over. I don't remember his name. Who's a drug dealer. Joey cut the guy's throat. He and Joey started struggling. Joey grabbed I believe it was a revolver, and shot the guy.
Damn.
First at 5, two
He was
men
on some
in a
violent
romantic
drugs.
relationship are being charged with murder after.
Haven't you ever heard of the Molly? Take the happy drugs. Shit, don't take the shit that's going to make you kill people and do all the stupid shit that's already going on in the world. Take the happy drugs, man.
Police say they found the body of a third man buried in one of their basements.
Well, Vicky, police just announced those arrests a few hours ago here at Metro Police Headquarters. Police say two men, a boyfriend and boyfriend, robbed and murdered a third man who police say both suspects were also sexually involved with.
That was, I get what he was saying. Two men, boyfriend and boyfriend. Okay. I mean, I understand why he said it. Like, you know, that two men who were dating would have been like each other. Two men, boyfriend and boyfriend. Okay.
This all started last night.
I'm sorry. Little stupid things like that just make me laugh. I'm a child. That is just weird.
This individual was involved with them sexually in a relationship. It appears that they had made some type of a plan of robbing him of some narcotics.
What's that called nowadays? Thruples? Is it a thruple? I don't fucking know these terminologies. I have one old lady. That old lady, she makes me angry. She makes me smile. She makes me want to just rip my hair out. Like, why do you need more than one? Yeah, that's just begging for a heart attack.
And during that robbery, that's when the murder was committed, and that's when they planned and decided to bury the body in the basement of their residence.
Both Jeffrey Mundt and Joey Banis were arrested. They were both involved. They were charged with murder, robbery, and tampering with physical evidence. The death penalty could be on the cards.
Yeah, should be.
And this wouldn't be the first time they'd be arrested together. See, in the months between the murder of Jaime Carroll in November 2009 and their arrest in June 2010, they decided to just start, do you want to start counterfeiting money?
Fuck yeah!
What they would do is, and this sounds kind of genius, but also kind of
unlimited
idiotic,
dollars.
Remember meth, is they would get like small denomination.
Dollar bill, y'all. Man, see, I would totally counterfeit money. I'm for one. It's so hard nowadays. Like, don't you have to have like big ass machines and like certain types of ink and special paper? Man, by the time, if you can afford all of that shit, just invest. Just invest. Fuck it. I'm serious. Like, and the amount of money that you could have took to get that special paper, that special ink, a special printing press, and everything else that you fucking need to do it. Like, and, you know, it's got that little strip through it and all that. And even if you're making like low quality, like counterfeit money from like back in the day, you're still putting a good grip into it. Invest that money, bro.
like $1, $5 bills. They would then remove the die and whatever was written on it. They then would reprint it, saying like $100. Jeffrey used to work in IT, so he'd know how to print properly, I guess. And they had it all planned out how they would make a load of money. They just got like $101 bills and changed it all to $100 bills. Great idea. I would say that's fucking foolproof, lads, you know.
Did it work?
If they weren't both fools.
I guess
in April
not.
2010, they went to Chicago and checked in at a hotel. At one point, Jeffrey gave a bellhop, you know, one of the fake bills. And the bellhop took it, looked at it, and it may as well have been Monopoly money. It was so obviously fake. So they immediately called the cops. They were arrested. Police seized like 60 grand worth of fake money, guns, and also drugs. And in fact, one of the guns seized was likely the murder weapon. But they both posted bail and were out. Till they weren't. So before they would go to court, you know, on the counterfeit money charge, well, they were both arrested on much more serious charges.
Fuck yeah.
Jeffrey was offered a deal. No death penalty so long as he agreed to testify against his ex-boyfriend. In February 2013, the trial of Joey Banis began.
Have a seat, Mr. Mundt.
Straight-faced and under fire, Jeffrey Mundt steps to the stand and immediately points the finger at his boyfriend, Joseph Banis, saying it was Banis who killed James Carroll in December of 2009.
That's when Joey went over to Jamie and murdered him.
He says it happened during a sex act while all three men were high on meth.
Joey had a knife and was slicing at Jamie's throat.
And then what happened?
And Joey shot him, I believe, twice. Joey pointed the gun at me and said I had a choice, which was to help him or to be killed. I was honestly afraid that he would do exactly what he said, which was he would kill my cats and he would kill my family. And I don't know whether it was a logical belief or not, but I believed it.
You had the opportunity to say, you know what? There is a body in my basement, and I'm afraid to tell you about it. Mr. Banis has been running around scaring me this whole 6 months, and doggone it, I'm so scared now, I want to come clean. You had the opportunity to do that, didn't you?
I did indeed. I was scared.
You were scared? Why didn't you tell the detectives when you first walked into that room that you were so afraid of Mr. Banis that thank God I'm someplace now where I'm able to be free? Why didn't you tell them that?
I don't know if I would define the police interrogation room as someplace to be free.
The prosecution said they were both involved in a murder.
Right. You were safe. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was actually Joey who pulled the trigger. I mean, no one really knows what happened, you know, that night, other than Joey and Jeffrey, and both their stories are stinky.
Probably don't even know this, so fucked up.
This is what happened. In late 2009, Joseph Banis, his paramour Jeffrey Mundt, and James Carroll gathered at Mundt's house in Louisville for a drug-infused menage a trois. However, things quickly went awry. While Carroll and Mundt were engaged in sexual relations, Banis stabbed Carroll in the throat with a knife and then shot him. Joey getting jealous. Banis then proceeded to point the gun at Mundt and threatened to kill him if he did not help. They then stripped Jamie, cleaned his body, beat it with a sledgehammer so that it would fit easily into the container, put it in, covered the body with lime, and buried it 3 feet in the dirt of the basement. They really just wanted drugs and a haunted house. It took 10 hours of deliberation, and Joey Banis was found guilty on all counts.
Mr. Banis, if you'd please rise. Under verdict on instruction number 1, there's a signature line indicating we, the jury, found the defendant Joseph Banis guilty under instruction number 1.
He escaped the death penalty, however, as Joey's defense did the exact same thing Jeffrey's did. They struck a deal. He'd testify against Jeffrey. Joey Banis was sentenced to life in prison.
I maintain my innocence. I accept responsibility for my actions, but I did not rob or kill Jaime Carroll. I was in no way party to a plan to rob or murder Jaime Carroll, and I had no foreknowledge that this would occur. I did not know that Jeffrey Mundt planned to kill Jaime Carroll. If I had believed this or known this in advance, I would have prevented it. I consider myself lucky to be alive. And though I'm despondent and crushed to have to face the fact that one innocent person, Jaime, is dead, another innocent person, myself, has been convicted of a crime he did not commit, and that a third person, the guilty person, Jeffrey Mundt, has now gotten away with both the murder of James Carroll and with shifting and placing the blame for this act onto me with blatant false testimony to this court.
I mean, his lawyer was just better.
Jeffrey's trial began, and his defense went with, here, Jeffrey was like a victim.
Oh,
He was
shit.
a victim of domestic abuse, brought upon by Joey, who was crazy. They said that if Jeffrey went to the police after Jaime had been killed, Joey said he was going to kill Jeffrey. He was going to kill his family. He was going to kill his cat. And also,
I mean,
Joey
can't
said
kill
that,
the kitty
if you go
bro.
to the police about what happened to Jaime, they're just going to blame you because it's your house. Which is kind of funny when you think about it, because it was Joey who told the police, to begin with, that Jaime was there. The police weren't looking for him. They weren't even close to finding him without Joey saying. I mean, that's the reason for that 911 call to begin with, is that Jeffrey, he couldn't take it anymore. He was like, I've got to tell the police about this. Joey wasn't having that. And, well, boo. However, the prosecution said Jeffrey Mundt was just as guilty as Joey.
It's day 3 of the prosecution's case against Jeffrey Mundt.
On Monday,
100%.
Banis told Judge Perry and jurors in the Mundt trial that he would not honor his deal with prosecutors to testify. That deal was made in exchange for prosecutors not seeking the death penalty against Banis for his conviction in the murder of James Carroll earlier this year. This morning, the prosecution announced Banis had a change in heart and wanted to testify, something the defense adamantly objected to.
Jeffrey Mundt stabbed and shot Jaime Carroll and then forced me to help him cover it up. Jeff asked, do you think anybody would miss Jaime? We could just take his drugs. And in hindsight, I now understand and should have understood, and this is why I feel guilty, exactly what he meant. I heard a noise, and when I turned around, there was blood flying. Jaime and Jeff were struggling. This was a life or death struggle. They were fighting, and it all happened extremely quickly. Jaime yelled out, "Joey, Joey, help me." And I don't know where Jeff pulled it from, but he got a gun, and it was the .38 Smith & Wesson, and he shot Jaime. I held the body. He sledgehammered Jamie's kneecaps, and we folded him into a position where he would fit into the container. Jace told me, no one would ever believe you. Ever believe you. I'm the great golden child on paper. They don't know about my secret fetishes or my anything. And they wouldn't believe you anyways, even if you told them. You're a convicted felon, Joey. Teary-eyed, he's told them that I have killed somebody. And it all clicks in my mind. Oh, he's going to do what he always said, which was use me as a scapegoat.
And then a video was discovered by the defense. Why this video exists? It's beyond me. It's a video of Joey holding Jeffrey hostage and admitting he is solely responsible for the death of Jaime Carroll. He doesn't actually say Jaime, but he says for a murder.
I'm recording my death for the purpose of informing all concerned of my own both suicide, complete non-involvement or culpability of anyone else, specifically of my boyfriend, lover, life partner, and friend, my one, Jeffrey Stephen Mundt. You'll notice that he is sitting or lying on the bed near me. It is only because I have a gun pointed at him. He is right there. I'm holding him hostage because I have failed him and hurt him and done terrible things which I can never recover from. This includes killing someone who... This includes killing someone.
So there you go. Now though, the prosecution also played a clip which they said showed Jeffrey writing the statement Joey said.
Right.
I mean, you can't see what he's writing, but he's writing something on a laptop.
The prosecution could rest its case today in a love triangle murder case.
Wow.
Jeffrey Mundt is accused of killing James Carroll, then burying the body in the basement
It's like
of
a
the
horrible,
Oval
horrible
home he shared
movie.
with his then boyfriend.
The jury returned.
Like, it's literally like one of them cheesy ass Lifetime movies where, like, and the dude. Okay, for one, I didn't see a gun pointed at no one. For two, man, I ain't just gonna be laying on that bed all like, while you're paying attention. Like, that's the best time to start causing a ruckus. And where are they at? A hotel room? Man, just scream one time. Neighbors get angry as shit when you doing humpity hump, but you know, you're sitting over there with a gun pointing at you. You scream, someone's gonna come running. I guarantee it. That's all shady as shit, bruh.
Returned with a verdict for Jeffrey after 8 hours.
Oh, itchy.
And it was
I need shave.
not guilty of murder.
Mr. Mundt, can you stand, please? All right. I'm reading the verdict sheets at the end. Under the verdicts in instruction number 1A for murder, we, the jury, found the defendant Jeffrey Mundt not guilty under instruction number 1A.
He did get convicted of robbery and evidence tampering, and he got 3 and 5 years to be served consecutively.
Not bad, I guess.
We certainly argued that he was guilty of a murder, and the jury acquitted him of that charge. So one could make that argument, yes.
Did he get away with murder? Yes. In my mind, he got away with murder. Both of them were culpable of this crime. They both had the same play. They both did it.
They're wrong, and they need to get out of this business if that's what they say. The jury found him not guilty of murder. If they believe he got away with murder, they should do their jobs better.
He's got a point too.
And that, as they say, is that Joey Banis, you know, he appealed in 2016. It was unsuccessful. He won't be eligible for parole until 2030. In the meantime, though, you can
not far
scribble a
away.
letter to him in prison. He introduces himself like so. Hello, my name is Joey. I am a lonely, gay man who is seeking pen pals and true friends. I am 6 feet tall, 160 pounds, with several interesting tattoos, which comprise a cohesive aesthetic image. I have a swimmer's build, and I am 45 years old. Although I look at least 10 years younger. That's generous, Joe. Jeffrey Mundt is already out of prison, whether he was a victim here or just as guilty as Joey. Some people lean one way, others the other, but I'll leave that one up to you guys.
Honestly, I don't know which one's which. They both look too much alike.
It was sold and has since been remodeled. Though this entire story, to be fair, just adds to its already long history of it being creepy. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the creepiest thing yet, having somebody murdered and then buried underneath the house for 7 months. Hard to top that. Though in case people were worried about it being haunted.
I mean, is it?
The basement, it has got a, quote, it has been spiritually cleansed.
The basement where the murder happened was spiritually cleansed and the dirt floor paved over. The new owners wanted to give it a clean slate.
So there you go. Great. Happy days. Problem solved.
Fuck ghosts, just pave it
Thank you so
over.
much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate
Thank you so much for having me, Mike. As always, it's a pleasure being here. All right. I really enjoyed today's video. That was a crazy one, y'all. It was weird. I still don't know which one was which. I'm pretty sure they was cousins. All right. I really enjoyed today's video. If you all enjoyed today's video as much as I did, please go down there, leave a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. While you're down there, if you want, going over, slap that subscribe button, become part of the Build 1000 Nation. We do some crazy stuff here. If you want to know when that crazy stuff happens, ding that bell. It might work for you. It might not. It probably won't. But if it do, jump in on one of my premieres and be like, hey, Bill, I got a secret for you. And be like, what's that? I got dinged. Right like that. Leave a like and dip. That's all you got to do. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Damn, Mike. That one was good. I weird, but it was good.